our mentees. We are going to have another mentorship session. It's going to be moderated by myself, Celestin Hirwandame, as the WRI Land Accelerator Manager in Lake Kivu and Rusizi River Basin. And let me take you through how we are going to proceed. We are going to have, before the introduction of the mentees, we are going to have a short introduction for the mentee, 3 minutes. Then he will proceed, she or he will proceed with the pitch for 5 minutes. After, we are going to have a Q&A session. Everybody in attendance will be asking questions. After that, the mentee will share the key obstacles for their project. Then we will come up with ideas, inputs, comments to make sure we are going to provide the ideas how the mentee is going to overcome the challenges. Then we wrap up for 5 minutes. In total, we are going to have 40 minutes for each mentee, and that's how we are going to proceed. Without further ado, I'm going to invite the Ndugunamiti to proceed with the pitch. Is that right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Celestin. Thank you, Mr. Celestin. And the others. My name is Mayenga Shija, the Managing Director of Ndugunamiti Enterprises, pitch deck of Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited. We are promoting landscape restoration through tree planting, and our strategy is to plant about 400,000 trees in 2025. The problems which we solve yeah. The screen is stuck.
Let's proceed. We can see, but it's not moving.
It's what?
Slider is not moving.
Go ahead and try stopping the share and sharing again. And you'll see the small arrows in the bottom left of your corner. If you hover, you can try pressing the forward arrow.
Is it now visible?
No, not yet. No. Or if Stanley is ready, we can allow Stanley go first, then Mayenga will come second.
What's about there?
That's
There we
okay. Now,
Yes.
now it's moving. Can you see?
Yes, slides are moving now. Go ahead.
Yeah, the problems that we solve includes the loss of agrobiodiversity and the ecosystem, soil infertility and the soil erosion. And as you can see at the photo there, there is the soil which have been affected by the soil erosion. And we solve these problems through encouraging in tree nursery making, tree planting, and capacity building to farmers in smart agriculture, crop rotation, agroforestry, terracing farming, and other good agricultural practices. Our market is focused on selling tree seedlings to farmers, institutions like schools, churches, mosques, and at the very discounted price of 50 cents per seedling. We also sell timber products to individuals and other business groups. The opportunity size of our enterprise so far, we have the 500 farming groups and the 300 government and private institutions. The historical revenue in 2020 year, we had a revenue of $58,700, which raised up to $207,970 in 2023. And we can see the projection, our revenue projection. And you can see our projected revenue in 2024. We have projected to have the revenue of $270,910, and which we are expecting to raise it to $500,000 in 2027. And we do expect also to raise the number of farmers from 500 farmers in 2024 to 700 farmers in 2027. The composition of our revenue, much of our revenue comes from the selling of timber, followed by the woody products by 32% and the seedlings by 13%. In competition, the competition is based on durability and the costs. And here, our competitors mostly are Mafinga timber products, Southern Highland timber and woody products, as well as the China woody products. As you can see, at the durability and at the cost, Ndugunamiti Enterprises is highly scoring. Our team is, as is seen at the slide there, Mayenga Shija, the managing director, and the other technical staffs down there. We have managed to impact and reach the number of farmers of about 4,670, and of which 2,825 are practicing on conservation agriculture, and 3,115 are practicing on climate smart agriculture. We have raised the number of seedlings this year in 250,000. And the planted area of the trees since 2021 is 187,000 trees. And we have restored the land of about 340 hectares. Yeah, you can see the uniqueness of our enterprise is seen, and it is being seen through our effort on capacity building, global approach, together with sensitizing the community to the issue of tree planting. Our total ask is $200,000 US, of which $30,000 will be used to develop the community awareness, mobilization, and engagement, whereby we can expect the impact of the community members being fully participating in tree planting and the agroforestry activities. $30,000 to be used on buying the nursery materials. And here, we do expect the impact of raising enough seedlings up to 400,000 the next year. And $140,000 to be used in planting those 400,000 trees, where the impact expected is to increase the number of planted trees from 250,000 to 400,000 trees per year. And here we can see the testimony of one of our customer who recently purchased timber at Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited. He was extremely satisfied with the quality and services provided. Thank you. And here I'm going to share with you the risks that the enterprise can encounter and the ways on how they are being mitigated.
Mayenga, your screen share has stopped if you want to restore your screen.
Yeah, I'm looking to the slide of the risks.
I think Mayenga, you can go ahead and read out for us if it's about only the risks.
Okay. Yeah, the key risks and mitigation strategies are to include the climate variability and the extreme weather, whereby we mitigate by implementing the drought-resistant trees and the native trees species to enhance the adaptability to local climate. And the second risk is the pests and disease infestation, whereby here the pests or diseases could destroy the young trees and reduce the crop yields, leading to the significant financial losses. And here, the mitigation strategy is to introduce integrated pest management, the IPM practices, which includes the biological control and the others. And also we have the risk on community and the stakeholders' resistance. Here we can find the local community sometimes may resist the changes in land use and be hesitant to adopt the new agricultural techniques. And here we can mitigate it by engaging the community early through education, training, and participatory decisions in making processes. Yeah, and we have also the financial risks, whereby here, the cost of land preparation are very high. Tree planting costs also are very high. The agroforestry infrastructure also may strain in Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited for financial resources. And here, we can mitigate it through securing and diversifying the fund sources, including the grants, impact investors, and partnerships with NGOs or government programs.
Mayenga, are you done?
Yes, I have done, but here I have the areas which we need assistance from the mentors Yeah.
Mayenga, allow me to interrupt a little bit. We'll come back to that at the end of your pitching.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, allow me to, before we start the Q&A session, allow me to recognize the presence of our mentors who joined today for the first time. I can see Alicia on the list. Alicia, if you can hear me, can
Yes,
introduce
I do.
it. Yes, you can introduce shortly, and then anyone else who joins for the first time as a mentor, I would like to also to invite him or her to take short few seconds to introduce himself or herself.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is, thank you, Celestine. My name is Alicia Pereira. I'm based in Spain. I'm a restoration practitioner myself, but I work as a consultant for integrated landscape managers and regenerative business leaders, as many of you are. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Alicia. Thank you so much for your interest to support entrepreneurs in restoration. We are very happy to have you. Anyone else who joins as a mentor for the first time? If no one else, I invite everybody to ask questions or to share inputs or comments about the pitch done by Mayenga. And by the way, thank you so much, Mayenga, for great pitching and a great presentation. So everybody, welcome. So questions.
Can I speak, Celestine?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Asagid Kedamo, it's nice to be here. It's also very nice to hear the presentation of Mayenga. I really like the idea. It's quite innovative and very much to do with the preservation of biodiversity and managing the climate change issues globally and also in the continent Africa. I do have a few remarks and probably also a question. I was listening to the pitch. I was just wondering about the business model, the revenue stream model, which is selling timber, producing and selling timber. So as you know, producing timber is a very long-term business. So how do you want to deal with that? How many years are you expecting to have the first harvest from your timber producing trees? And then will this be really financially sustainable with this current model? And I understand that you are also aiming to sell seedlings and some other woody products. I would like to know more about the woody products that you have in mind. Maybe you have said it, but I've not understood that one. And also in your ask, I just want to give some remark there. And the $200,000 ask, you put aside some for awareness, some for nursery, and the others for planting. I just want to give some suggestion that I think you might need to also invest in R&D, research and development, and in marketing, in also looking into the climate adaptation issues out of your investment, which tree types may give a quicker result, could also be studied further. So yeah, I those are in general my question and a little bit of my inputs. I don't want to take too much time. Thanks so much.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayenga.
Yeah, thank you for your inputs. We can incorporate it, but for the time being, Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited is registered by the Tanzania Forest Services Agency to be one of the companies which are used to harvest trees from the government, from the national forest plantations. So most of the revenue which we got for timber coming from the timber which are being produced from the national forest plantations. And for the time being, Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited is highly engaged in tree planting since 2012. And we are expecting our first harvest from the trees which we plant in 2027.
Hello, Mayenga. There are other few. There's one more question about financial sustainability of the business model.
Yeah, the tree that we harvest, we process it into timber and the other timber products. So from selling the timber and timber products together with the tree seedlings that we raise every year are the ones which make our revenue to be sustainable.
Okay, thank you. There is a suggestion about your ask. He suggested that you may invest in research, development, and marketing for quicker results. Can you also have a few comments on that?
And before that, I have to comment on when we are practicing these tree planting issues, we also involve the community. We are highly involving the community on doing that.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
I think the time is moving quickly. Any other question from the audience?
I have a question about the business model, and I'm also writing some things down on the notes document. So definitely, Mayenga, please check out the notes document, and definitely any other mentors are here. This question and answer time is a great time for you to clarify your thoughts and leave some final tips that Mayenga can choose to use or not. So after saying all that, I was looking at your use of funds, and you had a lot of money. I don't remember how much, 250,000, 400,000 for planting trees. And so if this ask is for loans or equity, not sure that would really be something possible, like unless like if you have the government of Tanzania or something paying you to plant trees, then that's fine. But I'm not sure exactly what your model is for that. I wonder if you could share with us a little bit.
Mayenga, did you hear the question?
Pardon?
Oh yeah, Mayenga, the main question was just about if you could talk about the business model that you're proposing for the biggest part of your use of funds, which was for planting trees.
May you repeat the question, please?
Repeated it a couple of times. So it is the biggest use of your funds is for planting trees. And I'm not sure that I understand the business model that you're offering to a potential investor there. So I wonder if you could tell us about the business model that you're expecting.
Actually, we are expecting to plant
there
multi-tree.
seems to be.
we do expect to plant more and more trees and involve the community in tree planting, as well as the good agricultural practice to make them earn some money for their lives.
Okay, I think that's something we identified that you might need to work on is maybe coming up with a financial model specifically to talk about what those expected returns are. And I think that the previous mentor touched on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. There is other questions. Mayango, are you still with us?
Hello.
Hello, do you
Hello,
still,
my name
do you
is
still
Samuel.
hear us?
Yes, I'm
Hello?
here. I'm here.
Yes, Samuel, go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Samuel Nguka. I'm joining for the first time, joining as a mentor. I've been struggling with my internet, that's why I've not spoken when you're asking about the mentors who are joining for the first time. I have a question. I've looked at the revenues that have been presented. I was wondering if he can, for example, talk about, for example, if you had a revenue of $58,865 what was the cost of production or your cost? So that you're able to, or an investor is able to know what are you spending vis-a-vis what you're getting. The concentration is much on the revenues, but I would be so interested in knowing what amount of money you used to get the revenues. Thank you.
Mayango, can you respond?
Yeah, I've seen the revenue. Can you repeat the question, please?
I am asking, probably you could talk about how much, let me ask in this way. For example, you said you're selling your seedlings at 70 cents. So when you're selling at 70 cents, what is your cost of production? And that then translates to, for example, let me just be specific to, for example, 2021, your revenue was $58,000. So what was your cost of production? Or how much did you spend to get a revenue of 58,865? Or you can give it in terms of percentages. I mean, what is your percentage margin?
The margin is about 20%.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from Olabi.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Owolabi Adewumi is my name, and I'm joining as a mentor for the first time. I'm based in Nigeria. Interestingly, I'm doing similar work with what the presenter have just done. I am also one of the past alumnus of this STEAM Land Accelerator program. So I'm here to learn and also make my own contribution for the new Land Accelerator. Yes, while we were being taught, especially during this program, we were told that we have time limit to make our point, and we have to do it within that period. I don't know if did you mention it to the presenter before it started? And then if not, I think you should be aware that the maximum time maybe allowed is around 5 minutes. So you should be able to make your presentation and deliver your point clearly within that time frame. That is my first contribution. Then he's into land restoration. Then at the same time, if harvest those trees for timber, what will you do to maintain or to keep the trees on the ground so that what you are actually doing will not become a problem in future? Because if you continue to cut the trees and you continue to turn them to timber, how will you be able to address the issue of deforestation and sustainability of your business? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayenga,
Yes.
go ahead and respond. Yes.
Yes, as I have said before, is that Ndugunamiti Enterprises Limited is registered by the government to harvest the trees in the national forest plantations, whereby we get enough revenue, which make us involve the community to go into the business of planting trees. So when we are making the tree nurseries, we get also an opportunity of selling tree nurseries to the community and the other small-scale farmers. Yeah. And by doing that, we can maintain raising the trees until they reach their maturity for being harvested, which is about 15 years. And wherever we are harvesting, we are planting. We replenish it by planting new trees.
So thank you for answering the questions. I'm looking at the chat. Almost the questions that were answered, but there are few. Do you have a competition? And another question is about how about job creation? Those are the two comments. I want you to come back at it just in 1 minute.
Our competition is about competing with the Mafinga timber products. There are timber which comes from Mafinga, the area which is known as Mafinga, and also there are timber from Southern Highlands, and also there are timber products from China. Those are our competitors. But because of the durability of our products, we sell more and more than others, because the timber we harvest are those ones which are mature from mature trees, which are being planted by the government. That is contrary to those Mafinga timber products, for instance. They do harvest the trees which are not mature. So the products are very weak from those trees. And you said about the issue of competition, another issue, Victor? Celestine, yeah.
So yes, I think you answered the question, but the time is, we are running short of time. And I would like to invite you quickly to share the 3 main challenges you face as entrepreneur, so that our mentors can give you ideas how you can overcome the challenges. Maybe 3 or 2.
Okay, we do have a challenge financially. The financial challenge is something which is leading. Yeah, so we need support in finance. And also we need an assistance to go for carbon trading. As we are planting trees, we need to increase the value for our trees by making the carbon credits. And also we need support in development our business plan as well as the business strategy.
Thank you.
Also, we also need support on learning how to use the geospatial mapping. This is for locating our plant sites using the geographical information system, if that can be. And also we need an assistance in doing environmental impact assessment, and together with developing a financial system, for example, the QuickBook and things like that. Those are our needs.
Thank you so, Mayenga, thank you so much. You listed more than 3. I would like to invite our mentors and everybody who heard from you, who heard of you, to share the ideas about the challenges that your business is facing. Any thought?
Could we have a summary of that one more time? This is better just for anybody else if you put it on a slide, because then we can continue to view it.
Yes.
So financing was it. And I think that we were talking about how you need to come up with a financial model. So you need to fill in the dots about how much trees are costing, where you're planting them. You need to basically create a project idea and probably seek equity investors for it, where people can say, well, if I'm going to invest $100,000 in 7 years, I'm going to get, I don't know how much, $200,000 back. You know, you need to come up with that kind of a model for people, most likely. So probably it will be tough to get certain kinds of bank loans for this, because you're going to be limited on how much of a bank loan you can get based on how much your profit margin currently is. And so you can look at your profit margin from last year. I don't know what it is because I don't see your financials. And then you have to divide that profit margin by 12. And that's about how many monthly payments you can afford at your maximum. And so there's different ways you can figure out how much loans you could probably afford. And it's probably not going to be enough to do what you want to do. So you need to look into finding partners who see this as an investment opportunity to make money for themselves. For instance, you know, this could be a really great way to hedge against inflation. So say that inflation is happening at 20% a year in Tanzania, which I don't know if it is, but you know, when you go to sell those trees, that like say you bought trees for, you know, you produced trees for $100,000 this year. Well, your inflation is happening the whole time. And so the inflation of the price of trees also is going up. So it's a hedge against inflation, as well as if you can estimate what the cost of trees are today. So it could be a really good investment actually for many people who have money. You just need to sell it to them in that certain way. So that is my kind of concept. If you want to explore that more, it's a concept. If you like it, you can explore it more. It's not the only answer. It's maybe just one answer to this financing problem. So I had 2 points in there, which is you can calculate how much of a loan that you could probably afford by looking at your profit margin. And then second is you might want to go and find other investors in your network or outside your network, but by looking for actual investors who see this as an opportunity to make money, just as they would invest in real estate or something.
Thank you. We are almost at the end of the presentation of the pitch. But if anyone has a thought on carbon credit market, can share. If no one else has the idea, we can just. But before I do that, let me give you time to share the thought on the carbon market. If anyone has an idea, please go ahead. If no one, so we don't have time to wrap up. I thank everybody. I thank Mayenga for a great presentation. I think you took note of the ideas and advices shared with you to improve your pitch. And it's the business is good. You need that to look at it as an entrepreneur, you come up with a convincing business model so that you will be able to pitch to investors as the equity investors, as Amanda shared. It's not easy to get a loan, as she said, because the revenue will come a bit later. But I think equity investors can be the right segment to target. So thank you very much. On this note, I would like to invite Stanley to go ahead and give us his pitch. Thank you.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Good. Let me just share my screen. Please tell me once this is visible.
Yes, we can see. Just put the slide in the presentation mode.
Yes, I want to do that. Yeah, sure. Here we go. Do I begin?
5 minutes. Yes, go ahead.
Good. So we are Ngeli Foods, and we believe in buzzing with natural goodness. We are currently solving the problem of Kenya producing 100,000 metric tons of honey annually, and this is 20% of its potential. So this 80% that is a gap is actually filled by imports which have no traceability at all. So our current problem is actually multifaceted. It's on the side of the bee farmer, and it's also on the side of the consumer. So bee farmers, actually, this 20% that we are talking about, that or the current 20% is actually because bee farmers have inadequate skills to produce quality and big quantity bee products, leading to unhealthy bee colonies and also affecting pollination all around. In terms of the consumer, when they go to the market, since it's filled now with the 80% that is imported, they find that the produce that is in the market is adulterated, leading to lack of confidence in the bee products and lack of actually natural products that are beneficial to the body. And so at Ngeli Foods, we step in by producing high quality bee products while promoting sustainable bee practices to the farmer. And how we do this is that we actually offer the bee farmers access to modern beekeeping techniques by modernization of their hives. By modernization, I mean like the traditional hives, which is the biggest percentage of beehives in Kenya. We show them innovative ways to modernize them. We also provide training to them, and we also give them equipment, which leads to improved productivity and products quality/quantity. And also we later on aggregate the produce from them, therefore giving them an access to market of their bee products. To the consumer side, we give them 100% natural bee product, as you can see our honey there. And also we also offer beeswax, which with this we are able to assure our consumers that they are getting the prime and good natural produce. And so the current total addressable market of honey in the globally is 9 billion, which is growing at a 5.93%, which will grow to by 5.93% by 2030. Our serviceable available market is 91,000 bee farmers in Kenya with a total market value of $25 million. And our serviceable obtainable market is 25,000 bee farmers in the coming 3 years, and having a market value as Ngeli Foods for 500K USD in 3 years. So in terms of our customer segmentation, we are currently targeting households. We're targeting the hotel industry in their different cuisines, and we're also targeting the cosmetic industry, whereby they usually purchase the beeswax so that they make makeup, lotion, and so on. So our business model is very, very simple. How we do this is that we go to the grassroots farmers, we offer them training and support, aggregate the produce, and then take to our processing area, whereby we do the entire processing and distribution. And as you can see in the photo behind, that's actually our processing area, and some of the products that we currently have, which is the honey and the beeswax. So currently, we are able to process 5 tons annually. We are currently servicing 78 bee farmers, and our processing facility can be able to process 600 kilos of honey per day. And we are also we have 550 beehives that we are currently servicing. In these 550, 130 are actually our own for Ngeli Foods. So I cannot do this by myself. So I lead the team as the founder and CEO. I also have a team. I have Stella, who's part of our finance. We have Onesimus, who's for farm productions. We have Given, who's head of our technology, which I really take a lot of passion in technology because I'm a data analyst by profession. So we really take in a lot of data. We have Mercy, who's head of our processing. And all this, we are able to be advised by distinguished people in Kenya, like Alex Mutua, who's the founder of Goshen Exporters. We have Mr. Vivek, who's the director for carton manufacturers, and we have Roslyn, who's the marketing manager of Simlo Seeds. So in terms of our growth, last year we were able to have a revenue of $15,000. We are targeting by from year to end that this year we'll be able to have clocked $50,000 in around 3 years' time. We envision to have reached $500,000, and by 2028 we envision to have reached $1.5 million. So in terms of impact, we actually, in terms of the sustainable development goals, we do no poverty, we do good health and well-being, decent work and economic growth, responsible consumption and production, and climate action. And some of the sustainable targets that we envision by 2030 is by achieving carbon neutrality. And how we plan to do this actually is that the farmers that we are currently working with, we incentivize them. If the farmer has 150 plus trees per farm. So when we buy their honey at a premium price if they have 150 trees per farm. Also, in terms of zero waste operations, we're trying to really recycle and also have compositing programs. And also we are targeting to increase job creation to around 70 directly employed by 3 years. And also in terms of expanding our impact, we're targeting to reach 500 bee farmers by 2026. And this is in different regions because one of the risks that we face as a company is seasonality in different regions. So these 500 bee farmers, we envision to do it in different regions so that we can also counter that risk and also enhance our product line, because currently we're just doing honey and beeswax. So we envision to go to the 5 other products that the bee produces, which are the pollen, propolis, royal jelly, bee venom, or the sting, and bee larvae. So in terms of competition, we really do have a stiff competition from Peptang, Green Forest, and Swahili Honey, which is based in Tanzania. But one of the things I take pride in as a company is that we really put a lot of emphasis on technology, whereby we mine as much data as possible, we process it and visualize it. This enables us to also just have a clear understanding of our operations and be able to make better decisions from all this data. Apart from that, we also have a farmer bookkeeping portal, whereby also the farmers are able to do their daily bookkeeping in our portal. So in terms of partners, we're currently partnering with Barca, Land Accelerator, GSEA by the Entrepreneurs Organization, KCIC, and KIRD. So our ask is $50,000. This will be in the form of equity, loan, and grants. And how we'll utilize this is by product enhancement will go to 30%, 25% will go to marketing and sales, operations and logistics will go 20%, farmer training and support will go 15%, and working capital will be 10%. So I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to join me in this pursuit of buzzing with natural goodness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stanley. Thank you for a great presentation. Questions and comments for Stanley? Any question for Stanley?
Celestine, I do have a question. In fact, I've just put it on the chat box. So thanks so much, the Ngeli Foods from Kenya. It's wonderful to hear this sounding convincing business plan idea. I like the idea and the way you develop the whole business model looks really great. I just have one question about your growth model, the forecasting from 2024 to 2026. you want to jump from 50K to 500K in revenue, which I find it's a little bit too ambitious. The way I say it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a clear strategy and how you know how you can do that. Can you maybe explain that? And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, thanks so much.
I definitely can explain that. So that's like from 50K to 500,000. I'm planning to do it in 3 years, and how I plan to do this is by the funding that we get. We'll really try to work on our distribution model to make sure that our products are out there as much as possible, to make sure that our brand, Ngeli Foods or Ngeli Bee, is literally in every household. And apart from that, it's in also in terms of the beeswax. We're really trying to work with big players who consume a lot of the beeswax. So yes, I do agree. It's quite ambitious, and I am up to the task, and I'll do my best to really try and steer for the company to reach that, and if not that, close to that.
Yeah, wonderful. I like the idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Hello, I do have a few. And first one, there is something that to me is quite intriguing, because in the solution slide, you talk about that what you will provide or you are providing is a difference in terms of high quality bee products and sustainable practices. But then when we move to the competition slide, what I see is 3 out of 4 that are represented in that slide are hitting the target for high quality bee products. What's the difference between you and the others? Because I don't see it there. That's one thing. Secondly, you highlight, as I said in the solution, the part of that you apply sustainable practices. I don't see it here in the competition slide. And what's the difference between what you do and what your competitors do in this area? So I don't see that. But what I do see is that you are hitting a target that your competitors don't do, and is the farmer bookkeeping portal. And my question there would be, if all the farmers, they have technological access and they are literate in using that portal.
Okay, that's a very good question. So in terms of our problem, yes, I do highlight that there's a big problem in terms of the quality of the product, and in terms of competition. Yes, the two others, whereby Swahili Honey is actually not a local company, so it's an East African company based in Tanzania. As Ngeli Foods, how we are really trying to do this different is that. And especially why we're different from Peptang in terms of that now high quality bee product, is that we're able to use technological solutions to be able to trace the honey or any bee product from hive to table. So we use barcodes and a lot of bookkeeping. And then in terms of now the farmer bookkeeping, how it relates now to the high quality bee products, a farmer doesn't necessarily need to have maybe the bookkeeping by themselves. We also, so long as a farmer is in our database, we're able also to handle that for them. So we are also able to consult and just give them better advice based on what we're seeing as we aggregate and as we manage that relationship with them.
Okay, I understand that. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
And I do have another question, if I
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because what I say is that your business model is kind of like you approach farmers, so it's like B2C in terms of getting them on board in your cooperatives, and then you go to do this aggregation, and so you have a route for them to market the whole product. But then after the processing, etc., the selling is a B2C and a B2B, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And it's really hard to have in a team all the skills and experience to pull this to market strategies and business models, and that's quite intriguing for me. So could you dip a bit in that, delve into that question?
Please, just to get it clear, what about you've said something about the team?
Yes, because what I say is 5 of you, and then you've got 3 in the advisory board. But what I'm saying, okay, that's fine. What I want to know is, in your your business model, when you get your product out of after the production, you have a B2C and a B2B business model, because you are tackling households, but then you are tackling hotels, etc. Those are two business models that are quite different, and the marketing is not the same, and so on. And it's hard to have in one team skills to track both marketing and selling points. So I'm intrigued to know how you are handling that.
Or how we're addressing that. Okay, that's a very good question. So the team that I've highlighted here is under the top management, and so I personally also I wear quite a number of hats in the company. So I also lead the sales and marketing, whereby and we have this thing in the company whereby every Tuesday actually we do sales, purely sales. All of us do not go to the office. We're out there in the field trying to address sales, especially. But now also just to answer your question about the B2B and B2C. So as we are going out there, we usually have data that I've picked up from actually a lot of the people in the FCMG industry. So this data is able to guide me to know who we are really targeting, especially. So when we're going out there to do our sales, we go with data that is really guiding us, and we onboard, let's say, like, for example, like we are currently working also with the small retailer shops, like the normal groceries, and we give them a package of 100 grams of honey because that really sells fast to them. So if we're going out to address that market, we really try our best to base it on data, see which groceries maybe are doing a certain way of like in terms of numbers now, in terms of selling wise, and then we're able to address that.
Okay, thank you again, Stanley.
Thank you.
And thank you. That answers other question in the chat that we're talking about the marketing strategy. Yes, Isako, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Stanley, for your presentation. So I have 2 questions. Number 1 is, what is your target customer base for your products? And the second question is, how do you compare in terms of pricing with your competitors? If, for instance, you are more expensive or cheaper, how do you compensate that to your customers so that they can feel value for money on spending on any of the Ngeli food products? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. And I'll answer first the first question of pricing, because I can also see in the chart it's also linked to the profit margin. So how we do our, like, the cost of production of 1 kilo of honey for us is around 350 Kenya shillings, which averagely is around $2.71. And then if we're selling it at a wholesale rate, we sell it at around 650 to 700 Kenya shillings, which is around 5.43. So our margin per every 1 kilo of honey is around 2.72, which translates to 49.9%. And in terms of pricing, I'd say we're not lower than our competitors. I'd say we are just ranging the same or slightly higher. And how we try, and this is based on the actually just the traceability measures. And so how we're really trying to counter now that pricing is that as we're going out there to sell our brand in terms of brand awareness and all that, we really try to also just emphasize on that traceability, so that our markets can also understand that what they're getting is actually like premium for sure. And now to your second question about our current customer base. So we're really working a lot with direct consumers as of now. That's our biggest percentage. But then you also have people who actually come in and buy our honey in bulk. So all we do is we do for them the processing, and then we give it to them in bulk.
Thank you. Any other question?
I just wanted to see the ask slide one more time. Would you be able to fast forward to that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. Just staring at it for a second, sorry.
Okay.
So I get these categories, but for me, I'm not really sure what any of them particularly means. Like, for instance, do you need to find, like what's your constraint to growth? Is it that you have too much honey and you need to find markets for it? Or that you're getting too many orders from different buyers and you don't have enough honey? Which might be your case right now?
Okay, so currently, number of bee farmers that we're servicing, it's really expanding exponentially. So this definitely will have the product of honey, and this not honey alone, but bee products in plenty. And so
okay, so I still didn't get it. Do you have too much honey, or do you have too many orders?
Too much honey.
Okay. So then that's why you're looking at marketing and sales and things like that.
Yes, and then
so I think that, yeah,
sorry.
and so you actually, as you're bringing on more farmers, I wanted to ask another question. Do you have enough bee boxes to provide them with? Is that a constraint to your growth?
No, not really. It's not.
Honey boxes?
Like bee boxes, you mean like the beehive?
Oh, that's really awesome. Yeah.
No, it's not a constraint.
Well, that's great. How did you fix that constraint?
So we really try our best to collaborate since it's still a fairly very new company. We're really collaborating with also other partners. One of them actually being one of the top 16 in the current cohort called Yata Beekeepers. I usually purchase some beehives from her. But then also another cool way we do it is that since how this business started is by the beekeeping side of it. So I've really understood the go-to guys, the good guys to go for when in terms of the beehives and the bee equipment. So we're able to, as of now, we collaborate with actually other suppliers of the beekeeping equipment, and we're able to now, sorry?
That sounds great. And who pays for the beehives, your company or the smallholder farmers?
So the current beehives that we have, the 550 that we are servicing, 130 are totally for the company. So that we've paid, we as a company, and we service them, and every produce that we get from that is actually part of the company's produce. But then now the remainder of that, it's more or less the farmers who have their own hives, and majority of these actually are the traditional hives, which are the log hives. And so since it's something that we found with them, and you know, there's a lot of cultural aspects to it, because they found that model from their great grandfathers. So how we're just trying to do it is we're trying to modernize them. As we compensate them for the honey, we try and make sure that they embrace the new hives. And apart from that, the same log hives, we're just trying to also find innovative ways to modernize it as it is. So you see, ideally, it's putting sieves inside so that it allows the queen bee to have a chamber, and the worker bees to have another chamber.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, selling is the hardest part. So I think that maybe including a little bit more on your go-to market here would be important, because people need to understand that if they invest in you, you're going to be able to turn that honey into value, you know. So they might need to understand what your repeatable business model for selling honey is, or what your plan is. I don't know, to export, if you need to export, I'm not sure. But so good that you guys are getting people to produce more honey more efficiently. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you as well.
Thank you. I think on this note, I can invite Stanley to go ahead and share other few challenges he's facing. Then after that, we'll invite him to share his ask in terms of technical assistance. Apart from financial ask, what are other asks do you have in terms of capacity, in terms of capacity building? But before that, can you share other few challenges like two your business is facing so that our mentors can share thoughts with you?
Okay. So one of the risks I believe that we've encountered this year is part of that seasonality, and actually, actually not even this year. It really affected us so much last year, and so how we're trying to I can kindly, may I go ahead and just maybe explain how we're trying to also do it?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of seasonality, we're really trying to address bee farmers from from different regions, because currently we're based in Makueni, and we're able to service farmers from Makueni and Kitui. But then we're really trying to also go to other regions like Rift Valley, in Elgeyo Marakwet, in Baringo, whereby you'll find that the seasons are quite different from ours, and or just other regions like Tana River. So we're really trying to do that to counter the seasonality bit. And then also there are players in this industry who've really dominated. So that also really is a risk for us, and in terms of just penetrating that market and making our name grow. And I believe now that links to the mentorship areas of need, whereby right now we're really trying to market to have a position in the market, to have Ngeli Foods as a brand be known, and be the to-go honey for everywhere. And our second area of need would be access to green finance and impact investment. And this would really help us, especially in the training programs that we're doing in trying to modernize the beehives for the farmers and all that. And then distribution model, like literally to make our products to be in everywhere, And then also the last one is circular economy and waste management.
Thank you. So can we share the thoughts with Stanley about his ask in terms of capacity?
Yes, Celestine. Thanks so much. I would like to say that just pay attention to the issues of climate change, as you will be heavily dependent upon nature, the environment, the flora, the diversity. And of course, I mean, it's a good strategy to diversify your sourcing from different locations, but somewhere along the line, I think it would be a good thing to partner with different stakeholders who can help you out, with measures that needs to be taken to improve the flora, vegetation of those areas. So maybe this is a long-term or medium-term plan for you, but something to put the back of your head, I would say. And as another thing that I would like to mention is that I see there is a lot of traction for honey business. So you might need to really look into value addition and also going for a niche market. I don't know what would that be in your context. So maybe also to pick the idea of the royal jelly. I don't know if you are aware of that, or if you try to go into that niche product, the royal jelly with a high value honey product. Some things to give it a thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your insights, and I totally agree. I'll definitely be on them. I'll definitely look for partners and just to partner with different stakeholders. And then in terms of now product enhancement, actually in the ask, 30% of the fund is going to product enhancement, now to royal jelly, bee venom, They're actually a bee produces 7 products, and currently I'm just doing 2. So definitely that is something that I need to get into.
Any other thought? Thank you so much, everybody. I think we are done with Stanley. Stanley, wish you all the best. Your business model, your pitch is good, though it needs some little enhancement, improvement, but you are on the right path to be making a good pitch. Just one comment. Yes, our 5 minutes time is not respected. I think we also look at how you can maybe condense or shorten some slides to be a bit brief so that you can meet you can meet this commitment of delivering a pitch in 5 minutes. On this note, I would like to invite our last mentee to deliver the pitch. Lawrence, you stage, over to you, Lawrence.
Okay, good evening. Can you see my slide?
Very well.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Lawrence. I'm a co-founder of Springboard Farmers Cooperative in Nigeria. My team and I are working with rural farmers in Nigeria through a market-based approach that helps to turn these farmers into prosperous farmers. And our work was actually instigated by the numerous challenges that rural farmers and communities face in Nigeria. In Nigeria, 70% of the food is actually produced by rural farmers. Yet, these hardworking individuals often live in abject poverty, and they earn between $300 to $400 per annum. Actually, I grew up working on my parents' farms, and where despite our effort and big harvest, we struggled financially. My parents, I'll see them, they will borrow from village traders to cover basic needs and farm expenses. And many small-scale farmers actually face the same problem. So it was not just my parents. Problems like the poor organization, depending on exploitative middlemen and subsistence farming and inadequate support. And so witnessing my parents and other farmers' hardship actually fueled my passion to change this. And so my mission with Springboard is to elevate farmers from poverty and turn agriculture into a prosperous and dignified livelihood. So through our cooperative model, rural farmers are able to profitably grow and sell their produce to final consumers. And so when the farmers join our cooperative, they receive training in GAP, and then we provide production support to harvesting, and our farmers sell to the cooperative for aggregation, and Springboard processes and sells to local and international markets. And our farmers are happy, they receive fair pay and premiums. And our value chain includes cacao, that's for chocolate, edible cricket, insect, and plantain, and that's the big banana. And then so with our business model, we run an integrated supply chain, and this model helps to triple our farmers' share of retail value. So all the produce that we buy, we convert into other products, and then we sell at the local and international market. And then at the export market, we export our fair trade cocoa beans. Currently, we supply to Calibre, which is the biggest chocolate maker in the world. So we supply to Calibre and Holam, which is now called Hofi. So we have actually created a highly profitable social enterprise that is very transparent and traceable supply chain. And then we have actually increased our farmers' income by over 300% with high quality farm and food products for Nigerians and those that buy our products from outside Nigeria. And currently we serve our products in over 2,000 stores and supermarkets across the country, and then several job opportunities for youth and women. And so the market potential for our value chain is, I would say, is significant on both local and international scales. And this also offers us considerable growth opportunities. For example, the cricket bread that we supply, the market in Nigeria is about $16 billion. And the Nigerian confectionery data for our chocolate is about $6 billion annually. And then the snack, which is our banana chips, is about 2 billion. And then Nigerian cocoa, close to 300,000 metric tons per annum that is exported. And so, of course, so many points differentiate us, but what stands us out is the cooperative model where our farmers co-own our value addition, and they also receive, where they also receive premium from the profit that we earn. And so, of course, like Stanley's mentioned, he's not alone on the team. He can't do this alone. The same thing with me, I can't do it alone. Our team boasts exceptional quality with deep expertise in agri-food, farming, agriculture, and entrepreneurship. As a team lead at Springboard, I have been honored with several prestigious awards for my contribution in creating job opportunities and producing organic food in Nigeria. And this includes the Ashoka Fellowship. And so in 2023, our financial performance was actually marked by strong unit sales across various products. We did 400 metric tons of cocoa beans that we supplied to Europe through by Caliber, and then 600,000 loaves of bread, and then 250,000 pouches of banana chips, 5,000 bars of chocolate. Our chocolate factory was launched last year, and then 150,000 pieces of donuts, and that's edible cricket donuts. And then this, I would say that this robust sales volume actually reflects successful market reach and the high demand for our diverse product range. And our impact is significant. We have positively affected over 7,000 small-scale farmers who are currently part of our members of our cooperative, and we have created more than 100 jobs for those who are working within our organization and across our factories where we produce, where we add value to our food. And this is separate from the over 500 jobs part-time that we create. And of course, over 90% of the employment we have created have benefited women and youth. And yeah, so we are actually we are seeking 500,000 in debt and grants. And this is to actually help us to enhance our production capacity, value addition capacity for our protein bread, for our chocolate, and for our banana chips. And then also majorly to recruit more farmers. We have over 20,000 farmers in the pipeline who want to join our cooperative. And so they will need training, they will need certification. And that means that by the time we recruit them, it means that we will have a higher revenue because we aggregate all their products, all their produce. And so our expansion plan, we are actually poised for a transformative expansion, aiming to impact 30,000 small-scale farmers in the next 5 years, and also supply chain will scale to meet increased demand, and that's it. And so additionally, we would also contribute to environmental sustainability by planting 1.5 million trees annually. Currently, we do around 500,000 trees per year, and so we aim to do over 1 million per year with our scaling plan. And we're also introducing new income-generating activities, including chocolate biscuits, cookies, and then production of cocoa soap using the waste from our cocoa products, and then development of banana plantain fiber products such as rugs and pads, leveraging banana stems from our farmers. And with over 5,000 local retailers and wholesalers, our partnerships with export companies, our expansion plan is, I would say, is designed to enhance our market presence and while delivering all on our promises. And so, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to answering your questions.
Lawrence, thank you so much for a great presentation, a great pitch. So let's turn the mic to the audience to share the questions and the thoughts on your pitch. Thank you. Any question for Lawrence?
Thank you so much.
Hand from Victor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lawrence, for your presentation. I think you did well. My question, you're talking about restoration, but in your impact, I did not hear anything to do with trees planted or the number of hectares restored. And maybe this is not just for you only, but also for Stanley as well. Could you kindly elaborate on this? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I would include that, but currently we plant between 300 to 500,000 annually. In fact, we are still in the season now, distributing trees to farmers, not for free, but we sell them. And so I will include that. And I would say that the number of hectares that we have really worked on, currently we have 7,000 farmers. Average farmer has an acre. And not just our farmers, we don't only sell seedlings to our farmers, we also sell to other farmers. For example, we sell seedlings to Holland and they distribute to their farmers. We also sell seedlings to Barry Caliber and they distribute to their farmers. And so if I'm going to say how many hectares, I would only be able to judge from our own farmers, and that's an average of 10,000 hectares. And then if we count by trees, I think it should be based on the trees that we sell annually, we should be doing over 50,000 hectares.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe then we can have that included in your pitch deck.
Yeah, I will put that on the impact page. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? In the meantime, there is a question in the chat box. Interest in business. How will local farmers share gains from market expansion? Will they get a margin or just from the selling of produces to the company? This is the question from Asajit. Can you answer the question?
How will local farmers share gains from market expansion? Will they get a margin or just from the sale? So our farmers make money in 3 ways from the cooperative. 1, they get a fair price for selling their produce to the cooperative. 2, they get premium, and the premium is paid by our partners, and that's by Caliber, Holland, for supplying cocoa to them. And then they get dividend, and dividend is the sharing of the profits that we get on all our produce and our products. And so this is continuous as we scale and as we expand. Those 3 areas remain key for us, and because that's what really stands us out in the market.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Lawrence, I have just a quick question. Do you have a situation like where farmers are not selling through your channel, I may say, are not selling through the cooperative because maybe there's a competition outside and they turn out to sell to your competitors instead of selling to you? Do you have that kind of situation? If yes, how do you deal with it?
Yes, our farmers divert. Sometimes they divert their cocoa only, because the cocoa is a global commodity that is highly competitive. So sometimes they divert their cocoa And this is because of price. Cocoa price fluctuates. And so when you have local buying agent who has a higher price, maybe he has gotten a better price from an exporter, and then he takes that to the farm gate. And so some farmers might divert some of their products, okay, some of their cocoa to them. And so, but the way we have been able to deal with that is now our farmers understand that the produce that you sell to the cooperative determines the premium and the dividend that you get. Okay, so farmers weigh those options. If I sell my cocoa to a competitor, the competitor does not give premium, the competitor does not give dividends. So our farmers are now able to understand the value that they get from selling 100% quality produce to the cooperative.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? If there is not, let's invite Lawrence to share. Okay, go ahead.
I have a question, yeah. So,
Go ahead.
Lawrence, so what is your market strategy in terms of, I see you have you have a couple of products. I saw you have chocolate, you have like a loaf, you have like a snack and other products. So what's your market strategy?
Lawrence? Can you hear us, Lawrence?
Lawrence, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Okay.
I think he dropped, Celestine.
I think we lost him. Maybe we can wait for a few seconds to see whether he can rejoin the call. So it seems Lawrence is not going to come back anytime soon. But in the meantime, I looked at the chat box. There was someone who shared a thought, and he was trying to indicate that I wasn't fair in the way I treated mentees. If Ndugunamiti is still with us, I'd like to invite him to share with us what are his asks in terms of technical assistance, so that our mentors and everybody here can share the thoughts. I would like to also remind you about Ndugunamiti. It's a company in Tanzania that makes money by planting trees and harvesting the timber and sell to the market. Ndugunamiti has a great partnership with the government, where they are the one who harvests trees for the government. That's what they do. If Mayenga is still with us, Mayenga, can you share your 3 asks from so that our mentors can share with you their thoughts?
Celestine, I think Mayenga had done that. I think the person who raised that was Charles from Acacia Limited.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe Acacia Limited, Charles Bombale can share. I know he presented during the first week, and he's the one who had raised that concern.
Yes.
Alikuwa anazungumza ili.
So it seems that Keisha is not with us. So let's proceed like this. The mentors who are interested to support Lawrence and his business, I would like to invite them to speak with him during the one-on-one and ask him what are apart from the financial ask, what are other asks he needs to take forward his business. And on this note, I would like to give everyone here, just because we still have a few minutes, to give him, and I want to give everyone an opportunity to, if there is a point he wants to make, to address it to a mentee. If there is any other thought, idea, this is the time to share with the mentees, just in 3 or 5 minutes before we close.
Yeah, Celeste, thank you. But even before that, I wanted to encourage all the mentors. I did repost the feedback form for Lawrence. Since he's not here, let us kindly put input in there, our comments and our feedback, so that Lawrence can be able to see it. I think he lost his network completely. But also for the other mentees, feel free to input your feedback there. It may not be now, but even later, feel free to do it. The form is live and on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victor. Great thoughts. Thank you so much. So if there is not any other idea, I would like to take this moment and thank everybody, our great mentees, for great presentation. I would like to thank very much our mentors, especially those who joined for the first time. Your dedication, your time, your commitment is much valuable for us, for our entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. Our next session will be next week on Tuesday. I hope we have much higher turn up, and I would like to thank everybody and wish you a great time. See you on Tuesday next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Celestine. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Celestine.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.